Okay, so YouTube's biggest barber teamed up with Stylecraft to drop the Stylecraft 360 JEEZY Instinct Clipper. Now this is just the clipper. There's no trimmer yet, but you never know. There might be something coming down the pipeline. It would be cool if we got a trimmer with the Echo blade, but time will tell. So let's get into it. Now, we've been down this Instinct road many times. This has the same motor, but what makes this different from the other Instincts? Well, starting from the bottom, this is the first Instinct that can be charged USB-C. This is the first Instinct with the 4-level battery indicator lights to tell you when the battery's getting low instead of just this middle light flashing. This is the first Instinct that has an all-metal body. This is the first Instinct with this shaped body. This is also the first Instinct to come with the JEEZY convertible drop top hair clean out door. We could get in here and clean out some of the hair and not have to take your machine apart. And this is the first Instinct clipper to come with the Echo blade. So since we're talking about the blade, let's get into it. Now this Echo blade was first introduced to us on the Sabre 2, and now we have it on the Instinct. But it does crunch more on the Sabre 2. And here's a video. You'll see him cutting with the Sabre 2, and it almost sounds like the blade is made out of diamonds. Now with the Instinct, you hear the crunch, but it's just not as pronounced. So if you ask me, that's probably because the 360 JEEZY has the Instinct motor, which goes left to right, and the Sabre 2 has the rotary motor that spins in a circle to make the blades go left to right. So somehow I'm sure that changes the crunch one way or another. But let's take these blades off and see what they're really about. So for the stationary blade, we have grooves, which help comb the hair as you cut and to feed it into the machine. They also provide customer comfort instead of having a flat blade rubbing against the back of their head. And these have deeper grooves than its predecessor, the Vapor blade. So it has deeper grooves and deeper teeth, and I'm sure all that helps with the crunch. And when you flip the blade over, you'll see there's little oil reservoirs. This isn't a metal injection molded blade, but it looks like they tried to do some oil reservoirs right here, but it doesn't really seem that deep. I'm not sure how well it works, because when you look at this in comparison to a metal injection molded blade, there's some room for the oil to sit. This is the babyless blade. So it kind of has oil reservoirs, but I wouldn't believe in it that much. And for the cutting blade, we have the blade that comes on most Stylecraft machines, which is the shallow 2.0 cutter. Now this has this little curve here to keep it sloped right against the back of the blade. Slide back and forth, get that hair from the bottom and really trim everything. Whenever you have this many teeth and shallow teeth, it usually makes it just a little more forgiving because there isn't big enough gaps between the teeth for the hair to fall into and get chopped up. All right, so let's talk about the motor. Inside this machine, you have the N2 vector motor. This is the intuitive vector motor that comes on all the Instincts. This will intuitively sense when you're going through a bulk, rev up to give you more RPMs to get through the hair. This is the Lamborghini of clipper motors. You want super high torque, super high speed, then look no further. This is the motor you need. Other companies offer it, but sometimes they don't perform as well because they will cheap out on parts. Now, on the box, it says this gets 11,500 RPMs. Typically, the Instincts operate around 9,500 RPMs and then rev up to 11,500 to go through the bulk. So let's test it and see what we got. $9,300, we'll round it up because it's close enough. So 9,300 operating regular. Now let's see how far we can rev it up with the intuitive technology and get these RPMs as high as we can. Whew. So you see we can actually go above the 11,500 RPMs. You definitely don't need that many RPMs, but it's good to know you got some big guns ready to go through some hair, because people come in, they got gel in it, they got product in it, they got sheetrock in it if they've been working, which is basically the hair is full of rock, which is probably going to kind of destroy your blades too. But anyway, that's the motor. Definitely my favorite motor. This machine performs amazing. It just goes through the hair like butter, man. It just makes the job easier and faster as well. So things to consider when you're thinking about purchasing this. Okay, so let's talk about the battery. When you look at the side of the box, it says 4 hours cordless runtime. I didn't believe that for 1 second. You look at the back of the box, lithium-ion battery delivers up to 3 hours of cordless runtime. Okay, well, let's test it and see what we get. So you see we're at a full charge. Let's throw the machine in the clamp and see what we get. 55 minutes. We only got 55 minutes of runtime with the 360 JEEZY. And you see my machine was operating lower than the RPMs they say on the side of the box. It was at 9,300 RPMs. So how much runtime am I going to get if it's at 11,500? Probably even less. So don't expect to get up to 3 hours of runtime on this machine, and definitely don't expect to get 4 hours of runtime on this machine. And I asked other barbers that I know that have this machine, and they said the same thing. Yeah, the battery goes quick. And whenever I watch videos on YouTube of other people that have the machine, they usually mention the same thing. So I said, how can it be that far off? Manufacturer is probably testing this machine with no blades on it, with no load on the motor. So I took the blades off and gave it a run. And the results were astounding. So here we go. Machine charged up, same machine, throw it in the clamp, and let it run without the blades. 4 hours and 41 minutes with no blades. But what the hell am I doing with the machine with no blades on it? Come on. We got to get it together on that. We got to get this runtime together, Stylecraft. And speaking about the battery, it could be charged USB-C, and it will work and charge on USB-C. And with the regular Stylecraft cord, it will charge and you'll have corded operation as well. It also has the 4 indicator lights that I mentioned earlier. All 4 is 100%, 75, 50, 25, and then it starts blinking and then it will die. Now let's talk about the body. Now this is the first all metal body and the first time this body shape has been introduced. It does have these little rubber grips on the side, the finger grooves in the back with little indentations for more grip, see-through window to see the motor, the convertible JEEZY drop top to get in there and clean out, and it's super compact. Showed you side by side with the original Instinct. Both very small machines. This body shape almost felt a little slippery because it's all metal and you just don't have much down there. And these rubber grips, you just don't feel them. I didn't drop it, but it did feel like it was more prone to being dropped. So let's check the weight. 9.1 ounces compared to the Instinct OG, which is 7.5 ounces. So a little bit heavier because of that metal body. Let's see how the sound plays out. So it's coming in at 72 decibels. Let's see how it compares to an Instinct OG that never had the cam follower replaced. This is jumping around, so let's just say it's 81, 82. So let's do a side by side because this metal body also helps give it some more weight when you're cutting and it helps dampen the sound. So let's see how it sounds side by side. So this definitely sounds better. It's definitely pretty quiet too compared to the Instincts of the past. We'll see if that holds up over time. Now, the price. At the time of this video, this machine is $299.99. We're getting to the level where this is basically like a video game console. Like, what is this? The PS360 JEEZY? Come on, I know it's a premium machine, but that price is astronomical and definitely needs to come down, in my opinion. So, what do we get for that price? All right, so with the machine, we get some of our usual things. We get oil, blade cover to keep the teeth protected during transit, clean out brush, extra can follower for when your machine gets too loud, you replace this, screwdriver with the SC logo, stretch bracket, which would go right here. This allows your blades to open up to a longer cutting length, similar to an Andis Master, an extra lever mechanism. If you take out this little spring part, you can have it free flowing and not clicking. And some extra screws for when you take the machine apart in case you lose any, because they are small screws. Charging dock, plug, USB to USB-C cable, and 4 tight guards, double magnetic from half, 1, 1.5 to 2. Now, if you're somebody that started out on a wall and you've been using the dub guards, you definitely need to get some of these tight guards, because this will be very familiar to you and will definitely put you in rhythm with the machine. Now, for $300 and only getting 4 guards that go up to a number 2, listen, Stylecraft, you guys do everything. Let's get a whole set of these guards made like the walls. We don't want to mix match sets. We don't want to use the dub guards with the tight guards to complete the set. I know they may be similar when they get to the greater lengths, but let's get these tight guards made like the wall guards, going up to a number 8 with the double magnets and the premium plastic that you guys do. So like we always do, let's tear it down and see what's inside this machine. All right, so this is inside the 360 JEEZY. Get a good look at that vector motor. Circuitry board. And this is how it compares to a OG Instinct that was refurbished. You can barely tell the difference. 360 JEEZY, OG Instinct that got sent back for the recall. So my final thoughts. This is honestly my favorite machine right now to be using, because I just love the way it performs and it just seems a little more quiet than the other Instincts. But would I recommend paying $300 for it? No. The biggest difference with this is the blade, and you could buy this blade separate. You could buy the Echo blade separate. So I would recommend buying one of these blades, putting it on your Instinct. While you do that, change your can follower, and you'll feel like you kind of have a new machine. Also, to only get 4 guards with this machine and pay that price is like, come on. And the runtime issues. There are some runtime issues with this machine. So I can't say go pay that price and get it. You'll be disappointed in the runtime, but you're going to love the way this machine performs. And by the way, that trimmer picture that I had at the beginning of the video, I photoshopped that. That was from Stylecraft's manufacturer's website, and I just made it look like a 360 JEEZY trimmer. But believe me, Stylecraft is going to drop that trimmer. I can't see them not doing it. So that's pretty much it. Until the next time, Barber's Lounge, breaking it down.